Right now, President Trump updating his controversial travel restrictions. The president signing a third proclamation, which now includes 8 countries. He added Chad, Venezuela, and North Korea to the original list. 5 countries in the previous ban remain under restriction: Iran, Libya, Syria, Yemen, and Somalia. Sudan has been dropped from the list. The new travel restrictions set to take effect on October 18th, while the restrictions on Sudan will be lifted immediately. And joining us once again, we appreciate you sticking around, is retired Army Colonel Jay Voorhees. Good to see you again, Colonel. Thanks for being here.
Good to see you. It's a happy Monday.
Oh, man, it's been a long one already.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the travel ban.
Yeah.
Why did the president update it? Why add North Korea and Venezuela to the list? What is the meaning behind it?
Well, first off, I'd like to step back and just everybody acknowledge that however you land on this issue, it's going to create a political firestorm. But I think the real issue to consider, and what we really need to dig into, is the national security interests on why we're doing it. And when you look at some of the countries that have been added, North Korea, Venezuela, there are some bad actors there. And I think that if we take the time to understand it, and I have not looked into it in detail, look at the motives behind it, understand that this is not focused on any religious group, but it's focused on potentially national security, I think that's the really important piece to this as we look forward. And we have to acknowledge there are folks that want to get into our country and do bad things, and we've seen that.
And Colonel, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because one of the things that we're hearing from a lot of pundits is that the reason that some of these countries were added to the list is to broaden it so that it doesn't appear or feel that it is a Muslim ban, as many people were calling it before.
Yeah, Amy, and this gets into the politics of it. And unfortunately, the politics are so divisive right now, divisive, that you're going to see that. What I would hope and pray that that is not the case. And looking at some of the countries that were added, I think that potentially we're looking holistically at national security issues of making sure we bring the right folks on, and we're still a welcoming country, but that is important across the board to consider. So again, a lot of politics involved here, but that's what we need to consider and focus on.
Seeing some of the rhetoric that we've been hearing over the last couple of days between the president and Kim Jong-un, what are your concerns there between these two countries? Yeah,
wow. This continues to get very concerning. And again, communication, words matter, and it just seems like we're getting into more of a tit for tat, and instead of really trying to bring people together. I know that there's been a lot of efforts with influencing China and different actors and who's supporting North Korea. That's got to be the key, because this situation is very challenging and it's very dangerous, to be quite honest. Not only for us, but our allies in the area. So I think the rhetoric has got to be tuned down, but you've got 2 players in here that they don't look like they're willing to do that right now, and it concerns me.
All right, I've got to ask you, since we got you here, your thoughts on the president's comments regarding the NFL players, as well as Stephon Curry, and then the players' reactions to it on Sunday. What were you thinking when all this was going on?
Yeah, I mean, for a guy that served the country for 25 years, I appreciate the fact of people being able to express themselves. That's one of our great strengths. But right now, I'm just kind of concerned, and I'm kind of sad, because I don't really know what we're trying to get at right now. Is this personal, or what is the cause that we're really trying to drill down into? And I think that if we could bring leadership together to really identify those things and bring the power of change and the power of cooperation to address the concerns, but also get them out there, is the key, because this is not helpful to anybody. And I don't want politics in my football. I wanted to watch my Washington Redskins beat the Raiders last night, and that was my big victory. But it's getting a little disappointing. I think we need some leadership to step up and knock all the rhetoric out to figure out what are the key issues here.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's too happy with how things are playing out right now. Right. All right, so always good to see you. Colonel Jay Voorhees, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being with us this morning and sticking around as well.
No problem. Great to see you guys.
Thanks.